In this video, I'm going to show you how to make the best chicken noodle soup. It's easy and delicious. Stay tuned. If we're just meeting, I'm Denise Jordan, and I teach traditional homemaking for today's woman. So if you want to learn more about making and keeping a home, hit that subscribe button and double tap that little bell icon so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Okay, let's jump into it. I shared a mini grocery haul a few days ago, and one of the items that I picked up in that grocery haul was this bag of Klusky noodles. And one of the meals I planned to make with it was chicken noodle soup. So for you homemakers out there that are looking for something to make to feed your family or a hungry husband, chicken noodle soup is the perfect option. It works for easy weeknight dinners, or you can serve it for lunch. Whatever, chicken noodle soup hits the spot. Let me show you how I made mine. Whenever I'm going to be working with poetry on the counter, I like to put down some wax paper or parchment paper just to protect the counter a little bit. And yes, I was washing my chicken. I know you're not supposed to, but I'm old school. I just can't seem to stop doing that. But when I am working with raw poetry, I am washing my hands quite a bit. So next I pat it dry, washed my hands again, and then I put about a tablespoon of oil in my Curtis Stone stock pot to heat it up and get it ready to sear that chicken. I love this Curtis Stone cookware. It works really well. So if you're interested in checking it out, I'll put a link in the description box below. I sprinkled the chicken legs with salt and pepper, and I use chicken legs because the dark meat, the legs, the thighs have the most flavor. So if you're a chicken breast fan, it's okay to use half chicken breast and half chicken thighs or chicken drumsticks, but you really need that dark meat, the thighs or the drumsticks, to add the flavor. I started out with my 4 ribs of celery and begin to just kind of roughly chop that up. Keeping in mind that I had those chicken legs on, and I had to remind myself not to forget about them and get over there and get them turned. And then I started to chop my onion. But I was a bit surprised when I opened it up to find there was a little bit of a spoiled part in the center. So I did take the time to cut that out. The skin on the onions I set aside to put in a freezer bag to use for stock later on, but that rotten part of the onions, I just cut out the bad part and then chopped what I needed. I washed and scraped about 5 medium carrots, and then I roughly chopped them, keeping in mind that I had to keep an eye on those chicken legs that were cooking. It probably took about 5 to 6 minutes for them to brown because I wanted them to brown on all sides. Once I got the chicken legs out, I added my veggies so they could begin to saute. And I lost some footage here. My camera malfunctioned, so when I added my 10 cups of chicken stock, I wasn't able to show you that. I lost all that footage and I apologize for that. While the vegetables were simmering in my chicken stock, I pulled the skin off of those drumsticks. And then I added them back to the pot. And I did chop up about a teaspoon of fresh thyme and then dropped in 2 bay leaves. And you can see here it is just cooking up nicely. The aroma is amazing. Now it's time to get those drumsticks out and get the meat off the bone. And you really want to try to wait a little bit and let them cool so that it's cool enough to handle. But I was getting pretty hungry and so was the hubby, so I wanted to speed this process up just a little. And it looks like I got about 2 to 2.5 cups of shredded chicken. Now, I use the chicken drumsticks for this particular chicken noodle soup, but you could purchase a rotisserie chicken that's already cooked and shred it up and use it to make your chicken noodle soup. And then here I am putting the noodles in. I used about half the bag and I just dropped them on top and then just very gently made sure they were moistened with the stock. So I kind of tamped them all down into the stock. And then I turned the temperature down, put the lid on it, and then just kind of let it simmer for about another 20 minutes. When I thought they were about done, I added a tablespoon of lemon juice and then some dried parsley. I grew this parsley last summer and I put it in this spice jar that was left from parsley that I had purchased, but I had quite a few stems in it, so I had to make sure I kind of got it off the stems and then crushed it up just a little bit more. Gave it a good stir and then put the lid back on it and let it simmer for a bit. So after another 10 or 15 minutes, it was ready to serve. So I had to fish out that bay leaf, and I could only find the one right then. So I thought, I'll just get the other one out later. It'll be in there. And the kitchen just smelled so good. My husband was really hungry. He kept saying, "It smells good in there." And here is my best chicken noodle soup. Those Klusky noodles are amazing. They taste homemade. Right now, with so many of us under stay-at-home orders, we have been eating from our freezers, our fridges, and our pantries. So what have you been making? Other homemakers want to know. Some of the best ideas come from right here in the TNT community. So if you've got a quick and easy dinner idea made from things that most of us have right here at home, tell us in the comment section below. Or If you've had to prepare a meal with less than your usual products, so let's say you were missing a few items and you had to sub one thing for something else, tell us about that. What'd you sub out and how did it work? If you missed that mini grocery haul, I'll link it with an iCard above and in the description box below. And I'll also link my hamburger vegetable soup and my family favorite mac and cheese. Both those recipes are really easy to make and your family will love them. And just so you know, I've raised 3 children and I've managed a home for more than 45 years. So if you want to learn more about making and keeping a home, subscribe. I would love to have you as a member of the TNT community. In the meantime, this is Denise Jordan saying goodbye. I will see you next time.